Capital Connection from the Illinois State Capitol.
Welcome back. We just heard from two House Democrats. Now we turn to two House Republicans. Representative Dan Brady from the Bloomington area and Representative Tony McCombie from Savannah, the Quad Cities region there. Good to have you both with us.
Thank you. Thanks for with you.
We're kind of just going through a grab bag of different items that the House is working on. I want to ask you both about a couple of different ideas. You had an interesting situation, a news story from a while ago, a DCFS worker. This is a tough job. Had something tragic happen, and you're trying to address this issue. What was the reason for this? What happened, and what are you hoping to do here?
So last year, Pam Knight was on an emergency call, was beaten, and then ultimately died from the beating. And oftentimes, unfortunately, in government, we're reactive, and we discovered that the bill was not in line for DCFS workers, and then also found out for Adult Protective Services workers that the bill was not in line with police, fire, teachers, people that work, in the public and the state side especially.
Meaning that those people, someone who was to kill a police officer would face a very stiff penalty.
Well, this was initially just on the beating, so with the intent to harm. So we just want to close that loophole. Like I said, it's unfortunate that we're reactive, but we need to close that loophole. And last year, unfortunately, it got caught up in a political mess when it really is just a cleanup bill. So we're hoping that Representative Slaughter, the chair of the committee, has stated that we are going to be hearing that, and so hopefully we can get it out of committee. I think we already have 55 sponsors on the bill.
And it's true, you want to see stiffer penalties for those who would attack or try to harm state workers in general?
Yeah, I would say we want to put it in line with the others. I mean, the DCFS workers and Adult Protective Services should be treated the same as police, fire, and teachers. And that's all.
And Representative Brady, you've been working closely with the House Republican caucus in matters of higher education.
Correct.
We saw Governor Pritzker say we want to give an extra 5% increase across the board to higher ed, but still, Western Illinois University is in dire financial straits. They've already had to make big layoffs there. Is there anything that the House can do now to give emergency funding to Western to help recover those jobs, to help stem the bleeding there? What can you do about Western?
Well, I think if you look at Western's situation, what you're talking about, something that's occurred for many of the universities that are in different positions with resources, financial resources, and for the General Assembly to be able to do something on an emergency basis, I don't know that that's going to be possible. Now, the 5% the governor proposed overall in your operating budget for universities is obviously welcome news. For Illinois State University, it means about $3.5 million more in their operating budget. To some of the other universities, obviously, is less. But what we're trying to do is we, and our bipartisan working group, is trying to develop something that's stabilized when it comes to a funding formula for all of higher education and quit the Band-Aid approach of those that need emergency appropriations. But we've gone through emergency appropriations over the last couple of years in our budget impasses.
Right.
And so to be able to say that we're going to pull a rabbit out of the hat and be able to put money in on an emergency basis, I don't think that's going to be it. It's going to be more belt tightening before we get a budget and get dollars released to the universities.
The State House knows how to pass emergency funding appropriations.
They do.
Western has sent people here to the State House asking for it.
Absolutely, and I've talked to them myself.
It sounds like you're saying tough luck.
I'm not saying tough luck. I'm not saying I don't believe we have $6 million to give to any university right now.
All right, so Governor Pritzker right now is pushing one of his biggest ideas is this progressive income tax. He's got a sort of a campaign arm that's running and promoting this tax calculator, telling everybody if you make less than $250 grand a year, that's most of us, you're going to see a tax cut. Maybe not a very big one, but some sort of a tax cut. People above that are going to have to pay more to help balance this state's budget. Is it really true that every single House Republican is a hard no on this?
Yeah, absolutely. We're standing together on this because, first off, we can't trust the rates. And how can you keep, the last fix, with 2017 when I was here, raising the taxes again, and we're raising it again. We're not reforming how we're spending our dollars. You just talked about the higher education. That was 2% now, 5% here, and we're today, how many bills have we already passed that are going to continue to cost the state money? And we're just continuing to spend and spend and spend, and I don't feel that these rates are going to be what's solid. The other thing is, too, I don't think the state of Illinois or any state should be looking at just one, like the graduated or the progressive tax, whatever you want to call it, because if there's going to be unintended consequences, we need to be looking at the system as a whole, and they're not even having those conversations.
Well, the Pritzker, just to set the table here, he said, if you're not going to support this plan, then bring me your ideas. What are your ideas?
I think what our ideas would be, what Representative McCombie has indicated, is the fact that let's talk about belt tightening further in some of these agencies. I just came off appropriation hearings this morning.
15% haircut, or belt tightening sounds like you're shaving on the margins.
I think what we want to talk about is we're going to have a belt tightening before we go to the citizens across the state of Illinois and ask them for a constitutional amendment to guarantee you're going to raise your income tax across the board, and that you're going to have a bigger check for the General Assembly, or in this case, the administration, to write, to pay things and create new programs over the next coming years in his administration. And I don't think until we are sit down in a style that was different than the minimum wage discussion, because there was no discussion, to sit down and actually have a conversation where the minority party's involved and we present some of those ideas.
The governor's challenging House Republicans to engage in a policy discussion. There's that policy challenge of how do you fix this, but there's also the political problem here. How do you said the governor's going to go to everyone and ask for more money. Really, the governor's saying no, you're just going to the top 3%. How do you fight back against this narrative that Republicans are just looking out for the rich folks?
Well, Mark, go ahead.
The rich folks. This is so funny. You talk about Republicans being rich compared to a Democrat. This is Illinois. There's not a Republican that has more money than a Democrat in the House. I mean, this is...
But the tax is applied to the people on how much they earn.
I understand. I understand. And oftentimes it's about urban and rural. And I come from a rural, and you come from a rural area. We don't have people in these higher brackets. And, you know, for example, my tax break is $65. Thank you very much. However, you just cost me about $10,000 on my business with the minimum wage. So you can't continue to tax us without doing any reforms. You can't keep passing unfriendly business bills that are going to continue to decrease our growth. We have businesses in my district. I live right next to Iowa. They're leaving. It's very easy to leave. And that's what you're going to see happening.
Final words?
And I think the final word would be, I've been here for a while in the General Assembly's representative, and I can assure you that around this place, people can convert numbers to make their case on anything at all. It's really sitting down and understanding and believing who's behind whatever the program or policy or idea is, and that's where we come in from the standpoint of trying to have that dialogue and making sure the numbers are correct of what we're being told.
All right, Representatives Brady and McCombie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're back in a minute with our Reporters Roundtable as we continue to look at this smorgasbord of different bills that have been popping up and passing, some of them, in the State House. Stick around.